see me at the moment. I'm not quite sure whether you can. It's still working. All right. Okay, how about now? Is this better? Are you online? Okay, cool, perfect. Hi, Eva. Great. Okay, I hope everyone's okay that we're doing this in English. Few German speakers, and Kate is here. Hi, Kate. Great to see you. And thank you. I'm just coming back in from the Raw Christmas celebration, and it was quite nice, I have to say. I really enjoyed getting together with guys who I've known for some years now, and it was just a small getting together like this, basically, just an idea of, hey, let's come together and let's celebrate Christmas, or like any occasion, any reason to get together and just to see what happens. And if there are enough guys who have one purpose in mind, it's basically, it doesn't need words. Like it doesn't really need explanation, or it doesn't need guidance. It doesn't need certain instructions or anything. It is just, hey, we're here, and just the fact that we know each other from an agreement that we have made out of time is enough to remember that there's one purpose that we're sharing. And that's exactly what we're doing here. We're sharing one purpose. And if it is one purpose that we share, it can only be that one purpose. It can only be to remember who we are, and to remember that this is only a dream. And not even that, not only that this is a dream, but also that this dream is actually over. It is already completed. Nothing has been left undone by God's answer for my only problem that I had for a moment. And what was that one problem that I had? I'm just trying to get you excited and active in your own mind. What was the problem that we had? What was the problem that was solved? Anyone? Or you're already gone? Or still trying to get in? Yes, thank you. The idea that we could be separated, and it never occurred. You're not separate now. You're not in a state. Yeah, you're not in a state of problems. You forgot to laugh. Exactly, that was the one problem. And that's the reason why we come together in this, because now we remember, yeah, this world is an effect of my own thoughts, and it's not real. It has no cause, and that's great news. That's really great news, because see, there's an action in your mind, there's an idea in your own mind that actually works. There's an idea. Oh, let me show you this before we start. Let's look at this. Like, this is a symbol. This could be anything. This or that. Yeah, let's see. Do you know this? It's empty. Don't worry. I ate it all. Chocolate. This is a reflection of. Or this is a typical item, a dream item, and the characteristics are always that it's limited. It has a beginning and it has an end. See, beginning, end, however you want to look at it, beginning, end, as an item, as an expansion in space, It has a beginning and an end, like everything, even the universe as we know it. And also in time, it has a beginning and an end. And this is my own thought. I'm seeing my own thought here, and this thought is limited in space and in time, limited, like everything else that these eyes see. I bet you're referring to the chocolate Melanie, right? There will be more chocolate where I'm going, and I see you there. Okay, so if all of this is limited, if these are all my limited thoughts that I'm seeing, then I can be assured that they're not real. It's not real because it's limited. It can't be real. None of it could be real. The space where I am, the space where I find myself as an identity, as Andreas or someone other than you, is limited and is not real. It's not real now. So this is actually great news. And the thing with the great news is that at first we don't want to hear it. At first we don't like it. We don't like that I don't like that my identity isn't real. I want to hang on to it. Because I think it offers me security and I don't know how to let it go. I think limitation is good enough for me. Like this little bit that I have carved out of heaven and called my own, this little thing I want to own, this little bit of dust is enough. But fortunately, it is not enough. Why is it not enough? Because we couldn't change ourselves. Like we couldn't be content. We couldn't be content with limited stuff, with a little bit, because we're still the Son of God. There still is one identity. There's still infinity that we are in us, as us, the light. You're infinite. You're not bound by any definition, not by concepts, not by space, not by time, not by this moment, not by A Course in Miracles. You're completely free. Why is that so? Because you couldn't change yourself. That's the gift. That's the Christmas present that you're giving yourself. You've never been anything else than that. You've never been anything else than infinite. You've never been anything else than light. You have never been a body. You have never been in a body. Okay, let's see. It seems like I can have a physical experience. All right. This feels like something. My hands seem to hold something. What Jesus says is actually nothing. It's nothing. Your hands hold nothing. It's not even dust. It's an hallucination. I'm beyond that, together with you. We're looking at a reflection. We're looking at this and got so identified with the images, with the tiny, tiny, tiny images, that we thought it was us. But it didn't make it real. We're remembering, yes. We're here to remember. Ah, okay, I know you from somewhere. Okay, all right, the light. Everything is orchestrated in that way that you can recognize in this moment that you are not here, and it is not difficult to not be here because you are not here. You don't have to make yourself not be here. So it's simply an acknowledgement, and I'm just confirming you that you are not here because I recognize that you're confirming to me that I'm not here. And I hear you. You're not confirming my imprisonment. You're not confirming my limitation. You're confirming who I really am. This is how this works. This is how salvation works. That's how we get each other out. That's how the plan was set up. Like your brother will shine his light in your mind, and you shine your light into his mind by the help of the Holy Spirit. And then we just become happy. See, no other plan is possible, no other plan is necessary, because you're completely safe, have always been safe. You could never suffer. You could never be contained, except in dreams, and the dream is over. And now there's this funny figure in your screen. And you say, yeah, he's reminding me of something. Yeah, remember something. All right, this feels better. This feels like something. Yeah. What is he talking about? Ah, yeah, right. Okay, good. Thank you. See, I can confirm that it's really my movement into that direction in this provision, in this frame, in this infinite frame that has been given us for a short moment. I can confirm that every move or every willingness that I have to move into the right direction is immediately confirmed and assured as the right direction. Yeah, right. I don't even have to make that move. I just have to recognize that the willingness is within me and that my desire is freedom above limitation. Like even if I prefer freedom 51% over 49% imprisonment, it will still work. It doesn't need to be total. It just is a little bit more wanting not to be imprisoned. Yeah, and we can just let this work by itself. See, this really doesn't have anything to do with the persona. This hasn't anything to do with you as a person or me as a person. It's not my abilities or your abilities that we're using. Yeah, I can also talk in German, but today it's in English. Or we can talk like this. This works too. See, isn't it amazing? Like in space and time, we always reject each other. Like it cannot be, try to be not rejective in space and time. You would have to come into the moment and acknowledge at least a little bit that you are not limited in order to welcome your brother. There will always be structures or rules in space and time, but these rules are completely meaningless. They're completely meaningless. Even here, God's rules, God's laws are real. Amazing, huh? Giving is receiving. Danke, Melanie. Verstehst du Englisch nicht so gut, Melanie? Verstehst du, was ich sage? Let's see, this is an experiment, right? Like, this is a movement, and really, I'm just describing a movement that is already happening. I'm not doing this. This is a movement of coming to a brighter reflection in your own mind. See this, look around you. This is a reflection of your own mind. These are images in your own mind. They are not real. And this perception gets brightened up. We don't even have to understand. Actually, it's good that we don't understand. Ah, good. Okay. Okay, just versuch einfach im Moment zu bleiben. Vielleicht verstehst du ein, zwei Sachen. und kannst damit weitergehen, weil gerade habe ich gesagt, dass es das Verständnis nicht braucht. It's just about being present and welcoming the interruption. I start to appreciate the light that we come together in, because in that light it's way easier to let things go. So if there's anything that you hold that seems to hold you back, or where you have a grievance with something, or you seem to be stuck, just throw it in, offer it into this moment. You can just do this non-verbally or non-articulate, or you could share it in the chat if you want to, and let it shine away together, because minds are joined, and in this purpose, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there's also Jesus, and he's here. Yeah, he's here. So really, we are not doing anything here. We just show up. We just show up and something happens. A miracle happens. We don't know how this happens. We're just acknowledging, not by observing something, but by acknowledging the change within our perception and seeing that it is good. Yeah. So we're together in this learning situation. I'm not a teacher and you're a student of mine. We are both in a learning situation, equal. And Jesus is showing the way. If I would be my teacher, or if I would be a teacher, I would be totally stuck because I don't know the way. I can, as a teacher, and maybe you're taking on a teaching function as well. As a teacher, you are only one tiny step ahead of what your pupils will experience in a moment. And that's all. You're just one tiny step ahead, just for that moment. I assure you that this is true. You're learning by being here and by being available for whatever wants to present itself. And this is the same for the teacher, seeming worldly teacher, and the seeming worldly student. So, but let's not forget why we're here. We're here for a celebration. We're here to celebrate the Christ in you, what you really are, and that makes me totally happy. I'm thankful. So where's the Christ? You can look for the Christ in me or in someone else or in you. Try it with someone else. You get around a lot of traps if you try to find it in someone else. Don't expect to see anything special. Don't expect to see anything at all. Just be willing. Oh yeah, I want to see the Christ in you. That's it. No expectations, no observing of anything. Yeah, you're the Christ. Yeah. See, we're never really lost. It's amazing, huh? If this is the rebirth of Christ, then it has to be yours. The changes that happen right now are much finer and of a much vaster expanse than we could express in words. We would have to use galactic terms, macroscopic terms, and include everything that happens. It becomes immediately divine, like every perception that you have, visual or acoustic, tangible. You can use anything for that. Throw in whatever you find, whatever constellation, special relationship, friends, work, whatever the dream content is, or the dream form, just throw it in, gets undone. You don't have to look for it, just take what's present. And the instruction is just be with the light. Just be with the light. There's an urgency that you experience it right now. There's a real urgency to experience the light, an urgency that you are coming into a universal experience, into the experience of pure mind, of spirit, an experience that you are not the body. The body is deception. Perception is deception. Whatever we think love is, that is not love. Let us let go of that too. Whatever we think that is, it's not it. Nothing to hold on to. Come with wholly empty hands into your God. Father, here I am. I'm coming together with my brothers. I'm coming together with those who you've given me to remind me about the way and the truth and the light that I am and that my brothers are. And here we stand at the gate of heaven. We're not far away. We're there. It's right here. Because we joined in that one decision. Yeah. See, you're not even hesitating anymore. You know what you want. You know what your will is. Yeah. You're free now. It's true. This here, perception, it really is deception. It's really showing you something. It's like, okay, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. You're living here. This is your home. This is your security. This is your reference. And it's nothing. It's a shield. And a shield that I'm holding in front of my own eyes, like this. See, this is a joke. Perception is a joke. It doesn't show you anything. You pass right through this. You're passing right through perception. You're not contained in perception at all. You can't find yourself in perception. Images in your own mind, and they become transparent. You can look right through it. You can be right through it. See? Okay, this needs to come to the light. The human mind always wants to comment on it. It always wants to comment on infinity because it's too scared to leave that frame behind. Let me say something about this. Who will I be if I let that frame go? I want to trust. Thank you, Regina. See, we're entering into a moment that is not defined by the previous moment. The space is not defined at all. It is just giving you a contrast experience. It's giving you an attractive experience that your mind can choose as valuable because it frees you of every past moment you ever had. It was a dream and it's over. It's really true that it is never here. The past is never here. That's cool. That means you don't have to struggle to undo it because you're not affected by it anyway. It's just a wrong belief that the past is somehow influencing you. And the last second somehow influences you now. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. You are absolutely uninfluenced by time. Jesus says that, okay, in time you have sinned, but there is no time. So you're completely innocent. So you may find a tortured part of your mind that still believes in time, and it's your job to point your awareness to it and say, okay, I've got no use for this. I want it healed. I want to see that it is healed. Above all else, I want to see this differently. It has nothing to do with behavior. It's just a decision. No, enough. Enough of sickness, enough of separation, enough of complaining and somehow this is not working. Enough of that. Like, okay, good. This is a new reference. This is a new moment. I jump in. Let's see. Let's see what it can do. Trust. It has an intelligence, and this intelligence is completely loving and universally intelligent. It knows everything about you from the beginning to the end of time, which is now. It can lift you out of your framework completely. There is no order of difficulty in miracles. You experience that now as true. There is no distance between you and Jesus. It's the same thing. We have been lifted out. All of this. This is a recording. This is not live, even though we announced it as live. This is not live. This is a recording. A recording we left for each other in space, so we could recognize that we are not in space, nor in time. And we can be refreshed. We can see that we're fresh, refreshed in each moment. This is Christmas. It's the birth of you, eternal birth in this moment. Not also in the next moment, but eternally now, with a horizontal axis, or vertical axis, we call it. Like your resurrection goes that way and that way, in any direction, because it is infinite and all-encompassing. And all-encompassing means all ideas, and all ideas are here because they are in your mind, and your mind is here. Your mind cannot be in another time. It has to be here. Is your mind here, or is your mind somewhere else? How could it be somewhere else? Where? In which time is your mind? It has to be here. Every idea you can think of, or could conceive of, even potentially, every idea you ever had is in your mind now. The whole idea of this universe is in your mind, as well as God. And God is not later, and God wasn't before, God is now. He couldn't be in another space. All right, let's read something. Lesson 183, Lektion 183. I call upon God's name and on my own. God's name is holy, but no holier than yours. To call upon his name is but to call upon your own. A father gives his son his name and thus identifies his son with him. His brothers share his name, and thus they are united in a bond to which they turn for their identity. Your Father's name reminds you who you are, even within a world that does not know, even though you have not remembered it. God's name cannot be heard without response, nor said without an echo in the mind that calls you to remember. Say his name, and you invite the angels to surround the ground on which you stand and sing to you as they spread out their wings to keep you safe and shelter you from every worldly thought that would intrude upon your holiness. Repeat God's name, and all the world responds by laying down illusions. Every dream the world holds dear has suddenly gone by, and where it seemed to stand you find a star, a miracle of grace. The sick arise, healed of their sickly thoughts. The blind can see, the deaf can hear. The sorrowful cast off their mourning, and the tears of pain are dried as happy laughter comes to bless the world. Repeat the name of God, and little names have lost their meaning. No temptation but becomes a nameless and unwanted thing before God's name. Repeat his name and see how easily you will forget the names of all the gods you valued. They have lost the name of God you gave them. They become anonymous and valueless to you. Although before you let the name of God replace the little names, you stood before them worshipfully, naming them as gods. Repeat the name of God and call upon yourself, whose name is his. Repeat his name, and all the tiny, nameless things on earth slip into right perspective. Those who call upon the name of God cannot mistake the nameless for the name, nor sin for grace, nor bodies for the Holy Son of God. And should you join a brother as you sit with him in silence and repeat God's name along with him within your quiet mind, you have established an altar which reaches to God himself and to his Son. Okay, let's try this. Regina, you're not alone. I don't know where you are right now with this, but let's try this. It's just, you stand here with a brother, you stand here with brothers, and we're calling God's name. Not saying what this is, not saying what this means. We're just willing to entertain the name of God and see what it does to the fear. Fear doesn't show me the truth. And I can accept the alternative to fear of freedom. And the alternative is at-one-ment. I want to accept at-one-ment for myself. I want to accept atonement for myself. I have no use for fear. There's nothing to fear. There's absolutely nothing to fear. See how this works? There's nothing to fear. There simply is nothing to fear. I want to accept at-one-ment for myself. I call upon God's name and on my own. I'm here with my brother, and we're calling God's name. Just stay with it. Stay with this moment. Yeah, thank you. In astrophysics, we call this a wormhole. And if you have seen the movie Interstellar, you know that if you enter into a wormhole, into a different world or dimension, there's nothing you could do. You can just lean back and enjoy the ride. You can't do it right, you can't do it wrong. It gets you to your destination from going. You're fine. I'm not quite sure whether we can tell jokes on this because we never know how long this wormhole is, but it's perfectly synchronized with whatever seems to be happening here on Earth. It's very intelligent. Thank you. See, this is new. This is a brighter perception of you. Where we're born. This is the miracle of grace, the star. This is God's answer to your question. See, there's no me. There's no me who could have wisdom. Isn't it interesting? It's not a fancy idea. Like I, as separate from you, could never have wisdom. That's foolishness. It's you as everything. It is you as everything. Otherwise, there is no wisdom. The rest is just concepts that we read somewhere, that we learned somehow, in concept and in separation, and it's useless. Well, to the biggest extent. Yes, it is. That's how we find it. That's how we find each other. I'm done. See? Yeah, thank you. I offer only miracles today, the miracle of grace. For I would have them be returned to me. Lesson 345. Father, a miracle reflects your gifts to me, your Son. And everyone I give returns to me, reminding me the law of love is universal. Even here, it takes a form which can be recognized and seen to work. Absolutely, this is what we experience right now. The miracle I give are given back in just the form I need to help me with the problems I perceive. Father, in heaven it is different, for there are no needs. But here on earth, the miracle is closer to your gifts than any other gift that I can give. And let me give this gift alone today, which, born of true forgiveness, lights the way that I must travel to remember you. Peace to all seeking hearts today. The light has come to offer miracles, to bless the tired world. It will find rest today, for we will offer what we have received. I offer only miracles today, for I would have them be returned to me. Thank you, friends. Thank you, brother, for coming in. Thank you, Dita. Thank you, Eleanor. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Regina. Thank you, Eva. Thank you, Kate. Absolutely beautiful. 345. Well, let's see. Thank you. Absolute honor and pleasure to remember myself through you. And to share this moment, because this is the only thing that can be shared. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. I love you. I see you in a moment. I see you in this moment. And let's say this together. God bless us, each and everyone, and especially you. God bless us. I love you. See you in this moment. Bye. Happy Christmas to you. Thank you.